Hi everyone, it's Miss Celeste here, and I'm your professor for ECE 202. We are now getting into week 4, so this is the last week of our course here in a set of videos. We are on part 13, and today we're going to really get into encouraging creative thinking with teaching aids, and that's going to support you and also, most importantly, the children within your classroom. And we're going to talk a lot about, trying to get that creative thinking going and started and supported within your classroom environment. Before we get started, I just want to remind you about making sure that we are reading chapters 7, 8, and 9 in our textbook. And then also please utilizing this week's reading to expand your learning within your ideas and apply it to your final assignment. So this text is really supposed to, really support you and give you some more clarity in some areas within your final assignment that you're going to be preparing and writing. It is due on Sunday, and all of the meaningful details are in Canvas under week 4 assignment. So please take some time to kind of look at that if you have not already. In addition, we also have our discussion, which is due Wednesday, and replies are due Saturday. And so just making sure that we are ending strong and completing everything. But please reach out if you have any questions in regards to really anything. I don't want you to be stuck on anything, or if you have, anything I can support you with, please just let me know. If you want to just send me a quick email, that's okay too. We don't necessarily need to meet, and I can try my best to get back to you as soon as possible, okay? So again, we are going to focus on encouraging teaching with creative thinking within our teaching aids and really overall in our classroom. But before we get started, I did want to share a video with you really quick. I'm sorry about that. I have all these windows open. All right. And this is going to just really give you some ideas of, starting critical thinking and collaboration early and why it's really important within your classroom. So I just really thought this was a really good video to kind of share and kind of get into a classroom and see what it looks like, okay?
Viendo, thinking and feedback helps.
Sorry about that.
Pues vamos a hacer un círculo en los dibujos, viendo. Pues vamos a hacer un círculo en los dibujos, viendo. Thinking and feedback helps students be engaged in the work and also collaborate with others. Our students are able to see that collaborating with each other helps us with an end product that is more elaborate and more detailed.
Thanks.
Coming to a two-way immersion school is a lot of work. At Amigos, I tell parents this when they enroll their children at age 4. They will be doing high-level, rigorous academic work in 2 languages. We definitely want students to be active partners in their learning. We want them to be metacognitive. We want them to think about what they're doing. So at Amigos, we look to support that in the early years.
Center time is the time where kids can explore.
I'm gonna do the dirt brown. Like, do this for the dirt, and then do circle, circle, circle.
They're reflecting on what we're studying, and right now it's the plants. And so they bring all these ideas into these different centers. As I'm looking at each student in each center, I select an artifact that the student is able to explain what they have done, and also if they might need help for the next steps. Vamos a hacer nuestros pasos de dar ideas. So first we put the artifact in the center, and our first step is just to look at the artifact. Nobody says anything, we just look. Caris, what do you notice?
I noticed that the artist,
So our next step is to notice.
I noticed
Students take turns to tell us what they see. So the brown pipe cleaners you're saying? What do you think it is?
the dirt.
You really took a look at it and you're noticing very important details. After we have noticed, we listen to the person that made the artifact.
The brown ones are the dirt, and then the white ones are the roots.
So they start explaining what they have done.
In the stem, there's leaves.
There's leaves.
I wonder.
And then after that, we have wondering.
I wonder why you put the pipe cleaners white for the roots. Because then.
Wondering is a time where students ask questions to the person that made the artifact. What's our last step in the thinking and feedback? Suggestion, or if you have an idea, say the word again.
Inspired.
You were inspired by something. We have inspiring and suggesting.
I think you should put another brown pipe cleaner for some more dirt. All right, I just used 2, so I think I'm good.
Kids give each other ideas. Are you finished?
I'm just gonna put what Teresa said.
And thinking as a group works well with kindergartners because they work in a lot of social skills. Let's give an applause to the artist and say, our students are able to work with others to receive feedback and work with the suggestion. They're able to make elaborate things. They're able to think critically, and the production the next day becomes more elaborate.
So what a really fun video. I really, really thrive when I see classrooms incorporate the children, as part of the process and really let them engage with the material and, really talk about it and just be a part of it and share insightful, information about specifically what they've worked on. And I think that really also helps their confidence, with also, presenting and speaking and utilizing all those tools. I really like, that they receive positive feedback, and I just think that's so meaningful, and what a great experience, that can be for any child. That also gets them to really, think critically and other ways of maybe doing the assignment or adding to their art, or, depending on the feedback that they received. So much greatness is really coming out of that. So how can we, support creative teaching aids that we are, applying within our classroom? So it's really important that with the teaching aids, we use visual exercises that will get children excited to learn. So of course, we want to teach a lesson, but we also have to get them excited about it and want to hear about it and learn about it. We also have to test different methods and see if they work, and if not, then change them. We don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over if it's not working. The approach to learning is based on the children in your classroom, so really be mindful of that. I know in a lot of my videos I talk a lot about doing the child approach and just making sure that it's child-led, and we really incorporate the children that we have in our classroom now, and then reevaluate our lessons and revisiting lessons, and often, because again, the learning kind of takes place all at different times for children. So just being mindful of repeating lessons as often as you can. And then asking, for support with material and to be on top of what's needed. So if you're doing a lesson, you have to be well prepared. I've been in many classrooms where they're teaching, a lesson, but they don't have all the material, either one, prepared, or two, even available to them, to get prepared. All of that needs to be done prior to your lesson. That's why those conversations with your teaching team is ultimately very, very important, part of the planning and responsibility and delegating and making sure that everybody is on the same page with that. And also, never be afraid to get insight from other teachers. So why, reinvent the wheel when it's already made and created or have been practiced before. So make sure that you are asking for help. You are definitely, getting some insight from other teachers. That's very, very helpful for you, to try and use, and also just being mindful of your time. Ideas can be, mindful about in the classroom. So here's some ideas really that you can use within the classroom to support your teaching aids, but also the teaching process with how children learn. So a lot of role playing, especially in early childhood, we want to kind of give them that big visual of role playing. So teaching through role playing is a great way to make children step out of their comfort zone and develop their interpersonal skills. It also gets them a lot more comfortable within, their confidence and also speaking and using words. And they also get to hear themselves, using those words, which is a very, very big learning process that is happening there. Storyboards is a great way to teach any subject, which, requires a step-by-step need. I always say a felt board. I use that a lot in our toddler classroom. One, it was a great visual, and two, I just had so many examples to share and use. And I also incorporated the children in that process and asked them to help me as well, which is fun. And then, of course, the environment. So it must be visually appealing and stimulating and inviting. So make sure that you are looking at that you are making changes wherever changes are needed. You're constantly talking about it within your team. Asking for others' opinions outside of your classroom is also fun and great insight. And then also allowing new ideas and welcome them, especially when you have new teachers or teachers who want to incorporate maybe something they've done in their previous, teaching environment. That's great. Welcome it. I think all ideas are, should be welcomed. And sometimes, unfortunately, I see that only specific teachers kind of lead those creativity, but I think everyone should be included in that and sharing ideas and giving suggestions as much as possible. And then also, reaching out to your administration if other ideas are needed or you need more support. Just say it, and I do believe that they will support you. And then, of course, work as a team. Most importantly, make sure that communication is very clear and open and honest, respectful, of course, making sure that everybody is accountable and definitely helping to support the goals that you've created together. Oops. And then here are some creative ideas to include, within your classroom. And then also I have like types of aids that you can incorporate in your class. And then I also have a little table here of benefits that I found. I did not make this table, but I really liked the examples. Of course, it applies to different ages. So of course, you're not going to use some of the ideas in, say, a toddler classroom. So of course, age appropriate. But I really like the idea of using puppets as a teaching aid. I really like, of course, the posters and the flannel boards. The storybooks are really fun. And really what, the purpose of them are is really just to get that visual, that real experience of what you're trying to teach them. I also like the PowerPoint, just again, depending on the age of the children, just giving them more examples of what you are trying to teach them with very attractive, graphic presentations. a lot of pictures and fun that way. Not too many words, but more into the graphic and pictures part of it. And remember, incorporating real life pictures, which is most beneficial because those are the things that they're going to see most often than, say, any other pictures. So how does a teaching aid help? Well, students get excited about, learning new things. They retain the information longer. They have better understanding, better experience. Their increased conceptual thinking expands knowledge to new areas, right? So, excuse me. Definitely that also feeds into that creativity. So the more that they understand what they're learning and they're having fun with it, the more that they're going to want to kind of venture off into different areas. And same as, for teachers, if they feel good of what their lessons are and they're teaching and the children are retaining the information, it also allows them to think of other ways or extensions, to the lesson, which I encourage you to do, because sometimes we will revisit these lessons often. So it's important to kind of really find other ways or implement extensions to certain materials. One, to keep it really fun and engaging, but of course, just also kind of connecting it to maybe another area that possibly it can be supported as well. Because again, overall, give everyone a better experience within what they're learning. And lastly, I just want to say thank you so much. I hope this information was very helpful. Again, I just want to encourage, creative thinking within the teaching aids that you are using within your classroom. Spend some time on Pinterest, which has so many great creative ideas, again, that teachers have used and they have worked. So again, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can definitely use what is out there. And so I encourage you to do some research and definitely ask questions and try new things often. So until next time, thank you so much, and I will see you soon.